right, it's almost 10 minutes before 8 o'clock. Let us just quickly go back to Paulpietersburg. That is where Leanne is in the KZN. Hopefully, alles is nu reg. Leanne, it's over to you.
Well, a very, very good morning to you on this World Environment Day as we come to you live from KwaZulu-Natal. We're in a area called Paulpietersburg, and quite interesting to be here because this is going to be the start of what has become known quite well as the Journey of Water. I'm sure you may have already seen some of the publicity around it, and it's something that happens regularly. Well, I think it's happened about 3 years before, but what happens is that a group of people go on a journey to the source of water, and you really get to understand water. And I think the wonderful thing, the campaign's catchphrase is, water does not come from a tap. Now, you and I just think and take it for granted that you turn on the tap and the water will be there. But how does the water get there? And I think a more frightening question is, imagine turning that tap on and there is no water. I'm sure one of you, or a few of you actually, have experienced that feeling, and it's not a very nice feeling. So let's talk more about the journey of water and, of course, water importance here in South Africa at a time when we find so many of our provinces under huge threat with drought, particularly in the Western Cape, but luckily some rain going there, so that's relieving it. I've got with me Dr. Morne du Plessis, who of course is the CEO of WWF for Nature South Africa. It is so good to have you with us, and what a beautiful background we've got here.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, amazing.
Lovely.
So we're going on this journey on water, but what is it all about?
You know, Journey of Water this year coincides with World Environment Day, and of course World Environment Day's theme is to connect people to nature, and there's nothing better than a journey of water to take people, celebrities like yourself and a number of others, people like Hlubi Mboya Arnold from Isidingo, Ryan Stramroot, the extreme swimmer, and so on, and a few others to connect their social media following to what happens here when we track the journey of water from its source right down to where it gets into the glass.
Yeah. I mean, it's something that we don't understand. Most people have not got a clue, and I think this is going to be a great eye-opener for us as well as those people that are watching on social media.
Yes, and I think where we start today in the Mabola protected environment between Paulpietersburg and Wakkerstroom, this is a very, very important area for water production in South Africa. It's among our top strategic water source areas that produce a disproportionate amount of water. It's at the headwaters of the Pongola, the Tugela and the Vaal. And we're going to look at some of the challenges, some of the problems that exist, some of the threats that we're facing, and to make sure that there's a general understanding of these issues.
Why this particular area, though? I mean, what I know that the previous time you did that, if I'm not mistaken, you were in the Cape. But now here, is there some significance in this particular place to do the walk?
Yes, this is the third Journey of Water. We started off trialling one in the Cape in 2013. Then we did the Mgeni Valley, the Mgeni River system 2 years ago. And now we're doing this system because much of the water here feeds KwaZulu-Natal. And then, of course, when we get to the Mabola protected environment this morning, significant amounts of that water also feed Gauteng. So every viewer in Gauteng and large parts of northern KwaZulu-Natal are materially affected by the drops of water that we're going to be watching today.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, once we embark on this and we try and get onto this educational drive, what is that overriding message that you're trying to get across to South Africans with having something like this as the Journey of Water?
I think by trying to connect people to nature, we want to make sure that people understand that we're not out to protect nature for its own sake. We're trying to look after the water source areas for our sakes. So it's very much about ourselves and the benefits that we draw from nature.
Yeah. And also on a specific day, I'm going to start wrapping up now, but I mean today, overall, and it's a great day to start on World Environment Day, and the world is a little bit worried about the environment, and especially when you see somebody like Donald Trump, who in a way doesn't believe in this global warming, who is not coming to the party when it is our planet that's at risk here. I mean, how are your feelings around that? And I can imagine that's putting a little bit of strain on this particular day.
Yes, look, Donald Trump has shown a complete lack of leadership. He's undone a lot in one decision that he's made. I think one has to remember that the transition towards a low-carbon future is one that the ship has left the harbor. It's on its way. American people, American cities, American states, and American businesses are going to continue as before. Some of the legislation and so on will affect and hamper the uptake of green economy, renewable energy jobs and so on in the US. And in a way, Trump is shooting his nation in the foot. But that slack will be taken up very quickly by the Chinese, by Brazil, India, and other developing countries in pushing forward towards a low-carbon future.
Yeah. Let's leave it there for this morning, but we look forward to the next couple of days where we'll be educating our viewers a lot when it comes to water, where it comes from, the origin of it. Dr. Morne du Plessis, the CEO of the Worldwide Fund, that's WWF for Nature South Africa. It's been a pleasure having you on the show.
And thanks for doing the walk. We really wish you well.
Well, I'm looking forward to it. It's a big walk. I think today, the first day, is about 16, 17 kilometers of walking, but I think what you see along the journey is fascinating, and the whole idea is to incorporate you into it, and that's why social media is a big thing of this walk. So please find that hashtag Journey for Water. Journey for Water? Journey of Water? What is?
Journey of Water.
Thank you for correcting me. Journey of Water. Hashtag, I'm going to be tweeting it so much, I'll have it in my head soon. Hashtag Journey of Water, and you'll be able to follow this entire journey. We'll see you in a short while.